Okay.
Welcome everyone to Pioneering to Empower and the Kelly and Kelly Crypto Show. My name is Kelly Ann over here in New Mexico, and I have Kelly B out there in North Carolina. Kelly.
Hey, Kellyanne. Good morning, everyone. Or hola.
Hola. And Gary Barachoa, the Director of Global Support for NexusUniversity.com. Hey there, Gary.
Good morning.
Good morning. So please, everyone, what we do here is we join in on the conversation with Kelly B and Kelly Ann as we talk about what is really up and out there in the disruption of the alternative crypto industry. Millions of people invest thousands of dollars for that little edge to give themselves an advantage in life. Your knowledge about the people's new financial system is priceless, and your small investment in yourself is a far smaller risk than being left behind. The cost of ignorance exceeds that of education. This gift is brought to you by NexusUniversity.com. And we are going to walk through today, if I could get this thing to work. Yeah, we're going to walk through the price of the GCR coin. Here we have the digital currencies, and here we have the digital assets. So I'm walking through the digital currencies today. We come down here to the global currency reserve. It is at 0.0067927 US dollars, which is not even a penny. And if we come up to BTC towards the top here, it's at 421.01 USD, native money. Now, why is that important? It's because we support the BTC coin, the GCR coin in our community, and the Nexus coin. The Nexus coin is live, and we have downloaded our wallets, our desktop wallets for that currency, that cryptocurrency. However, it has not yet shown up on an exchange at this point. Today's date is April 4th, Monday, April 4th. Go ahead and take it away, Kelly.
All right. Thanks, Kelly. Okay, let me grab the screen, and I will go over what we are going to talk about a little bit today. Now, I just want to briefly go over just some housekeeping here from the corporate call on Friday. And just basically to say...
I'm going to mute myself because I can't hear you. It might be me. Let me mute myself.
Okay. As Kelly mentioned, the Nexus wallet has been released. It's in your back office under Business Resources for the links, okay? You can now complete and submit your claim registration form for Class A and Class B Nexus coins. The form explains to you what Nexus Class A and Class B are. But a Class A Nexus coins are to honor GCR marketing debts, which are stolen back office coins, unpaid commissions, unfulfilled orders from December 2015. You do not
just for those that are new here, that has nothing to do with our future. That has to do with a legacy system. So I want to make sure that's clear, because we're all inviting new people to this forum. So that's really something that has nothing to do with the mission of, it just has to do with the distribution of people from the last year that qualify for Nexus coins. I just had to say that.
Okay. You do not have to join Nexus University to be eligible for the Class A. That was from the GCR from the past, like Kelly said. The Class B Nexus coins are an incentive to come aboard and promote Nexus University and the Nexus mission. Class B Nexus coins are distributed one-for-one for GCR coins held in one address within a green desktop wallet. Claim is available until May 31st, 2016. After that, no more submissions can be accepted. No problem running GCR and the Nexus wallets on the same computer. Also, Bob talked a little bit about Ponzi schemes and how popular they are with cryptocurrency. Beware. It's too good to be true. It probably is. Buyer demand increases coin value. Seller demand actually lowers the price. Price manipulation does not build value. Enhancements to the compensation plan coming. Be on the lookout. Also, this is shared in Spanish, and just let me scroll down the screen here. So anyone that wants to read it in Spanish, they can freeze this or stop this recording, and they can have those directions there. So just want to go over that, and let me show you too, since we talked about the wallets there. Also, there's some more information here. I'm not going to go over that right now, but let me just show you something. Kelly was talking about the Nexus wallet. This is what your Nexus wallet looks like, okay? This is the dashboard. Well, come on and move over to it. It's not responding. Just give it a second. There you go. And to create an address to use to fill out your form, you will just go to receive there. All right. It has to be unlocked. And when coins get in here, you will also see it staking. Also, let me show you real quickly what a GCR wallet looks like. This is my wallet staking. This is my passive income. One of my leveraged passive incomes. And again, to get addresses, you go to receive. All right, your wallets can be doing this too, your Nexus wallet and your GCR wallet. You just have to get yourself set up. So what have we got on store today? I thought this was so cool. This is called One Dime Disposable Hardware Wallet, sold out in 2 days. This is so important to show you how fast this technology is moving, people. This decentralized technology that we're talking about is happening all around us, whether we know it or not. This One Dime it has to be physically broken to spend any funds that's kept on it. You can add to funds to it, but you have to physically break this inexpensive hardware device to actually spend any coins on it. Sold out in 2 days. Yeah, like this technology, this space, this cryptocurrency is not a big deal, right? Take that one to the bank, will you? I'm staying in the form of what we've been talking about as far as decentralization. You guys new here on the call, just keep in mind that we try to continue to elevate our education. Learning is true wealth, and just sink in, because decentralization is happening all around you, whether you know it or not, in the media, with communications, internet, now with this the Bitcoin protocol, and so many other things. We're not going to play this video right here today, but I do recommend that you go to shareable.net and find these, or just Google 21 technologies that will decentralize the world. A lot of them are already happening. This interview was from February 2014. It's a little bit over 30 minutes. Incredible. He talks about the healthcare industry. He talks about the banking industry. He talks about the food industry. He talks about a lot of things that are already happening. I don't agree with everything. I do believe that what's happening out there in the financial world is going to change incredibly in the space that we're holding here in the decentralization of what we have with cryptocurrency and the crypto industry altogether. But Open Garden's one thing he talks about, which is decentralized technology, and that's just one. I'm not going to read them. I'm not going to go through them. You can do that through this. Here's a router that I think is really cool. The router is free. It's an open source software that will allow for communities to build their own mesh networks. I mean, this is stuff that's going to be happening. As we mentioned last week, decentralizations happened already in different forms, and they didn't affect you. You just, in a bad way or a hard way, it was just a transition. Look at how one of them is from a wall phone to a cell phone, and now we talk on the computer, right? So you just take that to mind when we talk about decentralization and going into this tech space. It's not going to be hard, so don't make it hard. Twister is out there, and it will, it's a trusted data. So it says you don't really want to trust your data on Twitter. Twister is peer-to-peer alternative social network operating on a decentralized framework. It's all coming, guys, especially if you're one of those that's, oh, I don't want my stuff out there on the internet. You know, it's not protected. It is the best, and it's where a lot of the money's coming in to build more security. The Edison is a future device, is micro and wearable. That's pretty cool. BitCloud. Some of you may already be aware of all this stuff. The Internet of Things. Also, Wonder Bar, the wireless registry. And once you see the interview, you'll see how pretty cool it is. Bitcoin, of course it makes the list. This is where I want to really bring this into. This was 2014. He was talking about things going Main Street, and I do believe that's when Bitcoin started going really Main Street. And he talks about how it's a protocol, Ethereum, and I want you to see those that are at the space today. We already know about a lot of this stuff. We've already been introduced to a lot of this stuff, where a lot of the world has no clue that it's already happening. It's not going to happen. It is happening. All right? Smart contracts, ways to protect your property so you're not victimized. Peer-to-peer payments, we're already doing that. Peer-to-peer lending, there's already sources out there for peer-to-peer. So we're going from a controlled, centralized way where somebody at the top controls everything down to a peer-to-peer. We'll be lending amongst ourselves in a bigger way. Crowdfunding, also urban farming. So you're already seeing the changes of this happening and learning how to take care of yourself better health-wise so you're not feeding that medical industrial complex that's out there, the pharmaceutical and the health industry, which was really not a health industry. It's a let's create causes and we'll give them cover up chemicals, right? So anyway, this decentralization is about taking it all back, being responsible for self. So I wanted to share that. I think that's a really, really good article. And again, the video is 33 minutes. I recommend listening to the guy. He's really got some great information that will make it easier for you to comprehend. So how does this all fit in? You know, Nexus University is a great place for you to just start and start seeing. And if you're thinking, well, I don't see this coming. I'm still banking. I still believe in all these systems that I'm in. That's all fine, but you got to start somewhere. You're going to start today, or you're going to start tomorrow. You're going to start next week or next year. You're eventually going to start. It's just like the internet. You might not have started it in 1990, but you're here now. So those that get in sooner are usually the ones, the early adapters are usually the ones that end up getting the most out of the industry. So whoever invited you, be glad that you're here. It's not by accident. It's not by coincidence. You're here for a reason. This is the best place to be. And Nexus University just really gives you a great place to learn and get started, because if you don't know about the history of money, you kind of got to know why we're even talking about a new currency at all anyway. We're talking about it because there's a problem with the fiat paper we use. It's a debt-based usury system, and we're waking up to that fact, and we don't want to participate in that anymore, especially when we know what's all behind it. So Kelly, if you want to unmute and throw your 2 cents in there, and we'll also see if anybody else has their hands up and if they want to add anything to the conversation today.
I just got some thank you interested. This is really eye-opening, all of these different technologies and different ways that, you know, people don't even realize is even out there. I really am not even seeing a lot of this, but I did notice you showed Namecoin, and it just so happens that was it yesterday? Yesterday I bought a domain name on the blockchain. I was about ready to buy a name on, there's one that accepts Bitcoin. It's called, oh, what's the name of it? It's, I forget the name of it, but there is one out there that accepts Bitcoin, but it was so generic and old, antiquated way. And I thought to myself before, I thought, well, I have $7 worth of Bitcoin, 0.017. I should just go ahead and get this domain name now so I can get started on my project. And then I started to think about, oh my gosh, I've learned from the Kelly and Kelly show that you can buy a domain name on the blockchain. What am I doing over here? Why am I buying a domain name in the old way when I could go the new way? I went to, I think it was peernames.com, and I bought my domain name, and it's Kellys.coin. You can't get .coin if you went to say GoDaddy, the one that I went to. But anyway, so I bought it for, you know, like I said, 0.017 Bitcoin, cheaper. You know, usually it's like 12 bucks. And then what I did was I sent them, I have a hosting account, so you have to host it. You can't just, you have to have an IP, you have to have name servers. And not that I know what any of that means, it's just very generic. I sent them my name servers on my hosting account. So now process of utilizing Kellys coin.coin. And so, you know, that's what I think, that's my story, right? That's my story of how I sat there thinking, I'm going to go do something that I've done in the past. Why do it the way I did it before? When, like, say I get married tomorrow and I meet, you know, Prince Charming, I'll probably end up getting married on the blockchain, right? So, you know what I mean? So it changes everything in your world. Once you go in here, it changes your way of seeing things in a decentralized. So I don't have to deal with ICANN. I think it's ICANN. I don't have to deal with that. I don't have to deal with any of that anymore because I'm now, my domain name is out there on the blockchain. What does that mean? Oh gosh, I wish somebody could talk to me about that. We might need to get somebody on the show that knows more about that than I do. Peer name. Thank you, Michael Bailey. Michael Bailey's telling me it's called peer name. I think it's peername.com maybe. Yeah. So anyways, no, we don't have any questions, but I just thought I'd share that little story.
Awesome. Paving the way right there, Kellyanne is. So, and I guarantee you the process was probably easier as well too, was it, Kelly?
Oh yes, by far. Yeah, because actually the other one accepts Bitcoin that I was going to use. Gosh, let me see if I can find the name of the one that I was going to use. What is it? It's called, oh, I can't think of the name of it, but they do accept Bitcoin, but then you're dealing with that, whatever that is, that ICANN, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
See, I don't even really know exactly. Yeah, it's just, it gets you out of that. So you're not registering in the old centralized way. It's a decentral, obviously, if you're using the blockchain. And you can use you can get different kinds of extensions. An extension is like .biz. Today they have lots of different extensions. Some extensions cost $75, you know. So I saw that, and yeah, I could have paid with a Visa, with a debit card, or a credit card, or Bitcoin. But yeah, utilizing Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency is a lot easier than punching in all your numbers, and then you're open to less security issues, and you know, it seems like every 2 years, I'd say for me, it's like every 2 years, one of my cards has fraud on it. It was like 3 years ago I had fraud on one of my debit cards, and then like about 6 months ago I had fraud on my card. So it's just like continues to happen, and I'm always like, I mean, I got stuck at the grocery store, couldn't even pay for my groceries. So, you know, that's what happens.
Yeah, once you do a transaction, you don't feel victimized. You really don't. You just, the process is so simple. You know, you copy and paste your address in there and send, and you're done, and you don't feel,
you know what they did? It's a good point what you're saying there. So like the process, because it's less threatening is what you're saying. But what happened was they just gave me, I said, I just bought it. I bought the domain, and then they sent me an email immediately, and in the email it gave me a Bitcoin public key. And so what I did was I sent that the money, and they told me how much exactly in Bitcoin I was supposed to send. So I went to my wallet and I paid for it. And within 10 minutes, I got a response saying it was mine. And that's so much easier. That's so much easier, you know? It's like what, 2 clicks? 2 or 3 clicks, Kel?
Yeah, it's very simple. And you know, it really, even though it's technology, you feel like, I do anyway, that you are dealing peer to peer. I feel that
Mm-hmm.
personal connection there, where when you're putting in all that credit card information to make a purchase on something, you know, you're not dealing with anything but truly a computer on the other end or whatever. But yeah, it's very cool.
It's
I,
changing our behaviors. So yesterday was a changing of my behavior. My normal behavior changed. And I really it wasn't even like I just started just naturally going over to Namecheap. That's where I went, namecheap.com, because I know they accept Bitcoin. And so I was like, well, I really need to get this. Oh, then all of a sudden the lights turned on in my head and I changed my behavior. And
yeah.
I went to a new place. Same, you know, it feels kind of the same, but it's not, because we all know that there's a lot, you're dealing with the right type of network in a trustless society. And my domain name, your domain names can get stolen. I mean, it's not like, you know, people can hack in and get your domain names. I mean, it does happen. So it's safer.
Well,
It's just cool
we're going
to
to learn.
have done that myself. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to learn so much about creating security on our networks and everything like that. Just if you even just this article right here is many, many different ways. We know that the internet's going peer to peer. That's really, when I started my research on today's show, I had an article last week on the decentralization of the internet that I wanted to share with you guys, because that's happening as well in a big way. And which is going to make everything more secure. You know, you can totally uh, keep things from staying on the cloud forever, and having somebody be able to control your internet, how fast it is, how slow it is. And don't think they're not doing that out there now with the NSA and all that. They definitely, you know, we're taking away that centralized Lord mentality away from, and bringing it back to the people in many, many different ways. So like Kelly said, she does, you know, she kicked it up a notch yesterday, and maybe some of you on the call yet have actually not done any purchases or anything with cryptocurrency. And I encourage you, next time especially if you're online and say, wow, I want to go, I need to go buy a blender or whatever it is that you need, you know, go to a Purse, get a 20% discount, and use Bitcoin to buy items through Amazon, and save yourself a little bit of Bitcoin there, and utilize and see how easy it is, and know that you are helping to the network grow, and you're really taking part. You're just not out here knowing about it. You're applying it. You're applying the knowledge that you've learned, and that's what it's about. We can learn all day long, but if we sit there idle, that's not good. I mean, flowing water, we all know, is much better than idle water. So you want to apply it. You want to get flowing. You want to flow. So, all righty there.
Speaking of those blenders, that's always kind of my thing. Like, oh, why do we need 500 different blenders? You know, that's the whole problem. But anyways, if you want to buy a blender, you can go to overstock.com too. And if you're interested in buying a computer, go to Tiger Direct. If you're really wanting to get your your network up and running for cable or whatever, I don't know, Dish Network, I guess that's not cable, you can go to Dell to buy a computer. You can go to Expedia to travel, cheaperic.com, Virgin Atlantic, buy a house on Remax. You know, it's endless what we can do here. And you can shift your coins with Shapeshift. Most of them most currencies and asset coins can be converted right there on the spot using Shapeshift if you have a Shapeshift account. So I guess that's another thing that I started changing my behavior on is moving over to Shapeshift as well. So there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Microsoft also. Microsoft. So they accept Bitcoin. Shopify does too. So does Braintree, Subway. but that would make me probably get sick again. Subway. So there you go, guys. I mean, there's just, look it up. Anything you really need, you can buy with Bitcoins these days.
Yep, and I have people still, I can send spendbitcoin.com website to people and they'll say, I don't have any place I can spend it. And I'll send them the links and they'll still argue with me that they can't utilize it. You can. It's just, you know, it's stuck in that zombie mentality. I mean, I can't make excuses for it anymore, especially for these truthers out there that know what in the heck's going on, but they're going to still keep flowing that paper around. But anyway, that's enough of my soapbox. What?
Right, they do. Yeah, they do. There's a few jumping on, but it's very slow. I mean, you would think they would come on board right away. And some of them are still stuck in the old antiquated banking, PayPal, and finding other alternatives that have nothing to do with cryptocurrency. And it's frustrating kind of in a way, but at the same time, I'm so glad I'm here. You know, gosh, what would the world be like if everyone was like me? Oh boy, that would be awful.
I don't know. I think it'd be pretty good, Kelly. You're always bubbly. And
it would not. It would be awful. It would be devastating for me. I would definitely, I'd probably kill myself for sure.
All right. Well,
Gary opened up his mic.
I did, and I'm dying over here. The visual of a world full of Kellys. Yikes. Hey, you know, I did over my mic. What do you think about having a shopping portal on our site? You just rattled off, Kelly. You just rattled off a bunch of places where they're accepting cryptocurrency. What do you think it would be like if we had our own portal that had all of those in there? So if somebody says, "Well, I don't know where I could spend it," well, they could go to their back office or even the front, actually, and click on a tab and be able to open up all of these sites that are companies that do accept cryptocurrency and link.
I think it would be awesome, especially if we had a commission on that.
Well, I mean, it would be more. Again, we're in the education mode. How are we gonna educate consumers? We're gonna have that with our own list, with the merchants that we bring on board, right?
Right. But yeah.
So why wouldn't we?
It would be absolutely. Yeah. Here, you've just learned about it, and here's 100 stores. You can buy what you want, buy what you need, right here on the site.
And you could do it. You could do it online, like you were just talking about, or you could even drill down. We'll be able to drill down further into your local neighborhood on who's accepted.
I love the idea because it's see, we're the street people. We're entrepreneurs, but we're still street people because we're not techies. Right. So, and so we do need that assistance in order to be a part of this space. Yes, 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 and yes.
And the technology is there where it can be simplified. All of these transactions can be taken from the techie world to the you know, the boots on the ground, if you will, being able to just point and click. So I mean, just dawned on me, that's something. I know we're putting together something with the merchants anyway, but why not have one that encompasses all of the participating cryptocurrency merchants?
I love it.
And data, you know, you could also add like Brave New Coin, because Brave New Coin doesn't have any porn on it. Like some of those exchanges I go to, I see advertisements, you know, that they just throw in there, and you know, it ends up being like halfway porn, you know, on it.
Yeah, we'll have to put those filters in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not our philosophy. We won't endorse that by any stretch. No, good. This is good stuff. This is very good stuff. And because we are ground floor, this is what makes it even more exciting. There's so much information, as you just went through, Cal, today. There's so much information out there that if anyone just drills down a little, they can become so much more knowledgeable of what's happening around them. But hasn't that been the case for so long?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're solution people here. This is about solutions and seamlessness and easy. And so the resource is important for all of us to change our behavior.
And one of the beautiful things about your guys' call is that it helps open up those lines of conversation of what ifs. What if we had this? What if we did that? And so on. And from a grassroots standpoint, those are the things, and that's the way that we're going to be able to implement not changes, but the processes and opportunities for people to become more intelligent.
Yeah, and you know, almost everything that I read, even this 21 Technologies articles, it talks about how education's changing and how we're going to the self-education, decentralized way of education. So almost every one of them, and that's our space. I mean, we're at a remarkable place, perfect timing. I mean, it's one of those just perfect opportunities, and like I said, almost every article that I do come across talks about how education is key right here, self-education.
Mm-hmm.
And not just for
right on, and
not just for the crypto space, but for where we are at this time in space.
There's so much that we can be more involved in. I think we're seeing that in the presidential election that's going on right now. There's so many people out there that are so tired. They're tired of the status quo. This is the way it is. Just listen to me. I'll tell you how to do things. And people are becoming much more aware. I think I've said this before. This is a movement. This is going on, and people, it's becoming aware of just being aware is not just, that's not enough. You have to be able to define that. And shows like this and the programs that we're putting out with Nexus University are going to help people be able to kind of stay focused on the things that are going on. Not that we're all knowing, just that we've actually being able to point out things, the history of money. I mean, you can't know what you don't know unless you don't know it. And here they are. And here's some information for you to find out that, hey, all those myths and stories you heard about are just that. Here's the facts. And here's why we are where we are. And it doesn't take mental geniuses for people to figure out, wait a minute, this has been going on for decades. I mean, I love that one statement in one of the courses says, this fiat currency has never been successful, ever, in history. I mean, gosh, and then it's been proven out. So, I mean, that'll say you keep doing what you're doing. If you want what you got, keep doing what you're doing. Holy mackerel, this is what's going on. And there are real smart people out there that are telling us this is the way it is.
Well, yeah.
I'm here with three of them. No.
Well, and the thing about it is, it's not a coincidence that the whole time the Federal Reserve's been around, which if you haven't listened to our calls yet, I will repeat it one more time. It's not federal. There's no reserve, and it's not a bank. It's a private corporation. And isn't it ironic? I don't think so, that the whole time the Federal Reserve's been around, we've been in war, because that is war money. So if you don't like war and you're tired of supporting war, get out of the paper. And that's
all the above. Yeah, the energy issues that are going on around the world. Look at what's been in the middle of it all. You've got your oil on one side, you got your banking on the other. Or the currencies on the other. Yeah, come on.
You know what? I can tell you guys this. It's a system. It's fear-based. The fiat money is fear-based. It's theft, inflation. It's disabling. There's no accountability. It's great power, abusive, and it has a lot of surveillance. And it's centralized by law, and it's separation. So why would anyone want to be there? Why would I want to be there?
Well, and that's what the value of these calls and the value of what we're building with Nexus University is exactly that, giving people that opportunity to reach out. If all we're doing is planting a seed, the information is out on the internet. I mean, go get it. I mean, you want to spend time on doing something, spend time on how you're going to fix your family and the future of your posterity. Yeah, it's there.
Fran had said, Srenar from the Brave New Coin, he's the CEO and co-founder of Brave New Coin. We had him on the call the other day, and he said, we were talking about the rise of the blockchain, and he said, you can't take that blockchain, it's like toothpaste. Once it comes out, you can't just stick it back in the tube. I thought that was really cool.
I'll tell you, like I said, I was biting at the bit because he was mentioning so many things that Nexus University is addressing. It is out. I mean, the genie is out of the bottle. And it doesn't matter what they've tried to do with Bitcoin, which we've seen what they've done over the years. They've tried to dispel it. They've tried to tarnish it. The IRS tried to disgrace it, or not disgrace. What did they do? They lowered it to a commodity as opposed to a currency, and then shortly thereafter, the international market exclaims that Bitcoin is the largest or the fastest or most profitable currency in the world. I mean, come on. Who are they trying to kid? It is out there, and they're
very bad actors.
Oh, it's not even that. They're just incompetent. I mean, here I'm going to protect my little box, and you can't do anything.
A bad actor, someone who can't act real well. You know, I mean, they're not good actors.
Well, and I don't think they're acting. Frankly, I think they firmly believe that this is the world, and this is the world that we're living in, and it's not going to change, and that's it. Well. I'm sorry, there's alternatives. So anyway, Good stuff though. Very good stuff. Great opportunity. It's what excites me every morning to get up and go, hey, you know what? We get to address this. How can we make it more better? And it just dawned on me that if we could put a portal together out here that even embraces that, we will be driving more traffic to our sites, number one, but more importantly, we'll be driving traffic to the merchants and building the utility of the currencies, regardless of which ones they are. By the way, ours is live. It's just not public. The Nexus coin is live, as you mentioned, but it's just not public yet. And that should be coming forth. That should be forthcoming now that our wallet's out there and so on. So we should keep that in mind as well. So it's a great time. Things are about to explode.
Awesome. Well, we do have a hand up.
Yeah.
All righty. Hey, Jeff. Jeff, you there?
Yes, driver.
He may be muted. We can't hear you, Jeff.
He might be on the road. He's like a road warrior.
Yeah. We'll catch him next time. All right, great. Well, as I say, truth is truth, whether you believe it or not. So anybody else got any comments?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi. Yeah, I am a road warrior.
I thought about that the other day for you. You're a road warrior.
Yeah. And in the post-apocalypse, the pre-post-apocalypse. So I just want to have a question about, since we're talking about Bitcoin a lot today and cryptocurrency and the industry, there's a lot of talk about at some point this summer, production of Bitcoin is going to be cut in half. And I just was wondering if there's anybody who would like to say anything about how that could affect the industry, how it could affect the price of Bitcoin, how it could affect us at Nexus. Anybody want to say anything about that?
Sure, I can. I always have something to say about that. The major milestone is June, July, or August, somewhere around there. Nobody really knows. That's just the projection of the halving of Bitcoin. Is that what you're talking about, the reduction?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, and that's every 4 years. That's about ready to happen again, which a lot of people don't realize there's 21 million Bitcoin, okay, and that's the supply. That's what we're working with, and that keeps it so it's deflationary. So every 4 years, the supply of Bitcoin is reduced until 2,140, and we'll probably all be gone by then. And that's preventing the inflation while growing higher in demand. The math gets more difficult as well for the miners, and the equipment to mine that Bitcoin becomes outdated as well. And then we have a fork in the road right now, and I don't think I want to go there because that's also part of all of this. But really, we're just talking about the generic, the algorithm that they have with the Bitcoin. This is only for the Bitcoin and many, many other coins that I could mention that are also the same or similar, very similar, which is every 4 years it does a halving. And so that just reduces the supply, a reduction of coins. And so will that bring the price up? I don't know.
I believe it will. I believe that right there is a no-brainer. I believe that it's harder, everything that you just mentioned, and those that
Yep.
are positioned have just walked into just something really great, and to me it's a no-brainer. It's absolutely a no-brainer. As Andreas talks about, is there enough of Bitcoin to actually become the currency? Maybe not, but it's going to be probably the reserve currency of all the altcoins. Think about how big that is if you own Bitcoin. The reserve currency of all the altcoins out there that have true value, true utility. Humongous. And I'm not that smart to even
Yes.
and I get that.
I haven't even drilled down on all that. I've skimmed over the top of that. That's deeper than I want to go with it personally.
Yeah, and nobody really even needs to go that deep, really, but it's
That
interesting.
goes back into the techie world.
Yeah, but each coin has a different character. There's some coins that are out there that are exactly like Bitcoin. There's one of them that's out there that's exactly like Bitcoin, except it has one variable that's different, and that it's partially anonymous. And we never talk about it. I think it's the Moreno coin, but I think that's it. But it's partially, there's a half of it can be, you can turn it on and say, I want this one to be anonymous. I want this transaction to be not visible to the point where they encrypted it so much that it can't be decrypted at all. And so no one would be able to track it, not even the FBI or the CIA or whatever, and any of those alphabet soup corporations. So, and then there's a lot of coins that are also working off of the blockchain of Bitcoin too. So, but like we've always talked about, there's 3,000 coins out there, guys, and there's only a maybe 50, 40, 30 of them that are even have any kind of possible usage or are being utilized right now. There's asset coins, and then there's currencies. They each are just very, very different. It's just amazing. But with the Nexus coin and the GCR coin and Bitcoin being part of our ecosystem, with the Nexus Global Rewards community, we keep everyone within the system, within that community, so they don't leave. That's what I'm trying to, that I see with all of this, is that we're keeping them within it because they get so much benefit out of it by staying in. And if they leave and go back to fiat, which a lot of that happens out there, then they're not going to get those rewards, that benefit. Am I right?
Kelly, so tell me, how long do you think it's going to take for people to embrace cryptocurrency completely?
Well, like for me, it didn't take me very long, but just like Fran had said, remember Fran mentioned that it's not going to take 15 minutes. It's me time. I thought that was really cool that he said that. It's me time. If you take your me time and just change your behavior, I think it's just it, period. Just changing your behavior. If you're going to go do something and you've seen something on one of these shows, or you learn something from the courseware that the nexusuniversity.com offers, then take that information and change. If you're not doing that, then why even go there? I mean, what's the use of doing this is a benefit for you and your family and your future and your trust and your information, your assets, your titles, your transactions, your home, your property, your records, your health records. This gets huge. You know how hard it is to get a health record, to get your health records. The blockchain takes care of all of that. This is solving so many problems, not only economically, but healthcare wise, transitioning of ownership, getting married, for goodness sakes. So, it's just a whole nother way just to do things. And I think it could be 5-6 years. I think we're way ahead. We are way ahead. You guys, you don't have to rush at this. We are way. I thought about that last night. I thought, you know what? This is going to take a long, to me, that's a long time, 5 years. But that's just my viewpoint.
But in the meantime, and that's kind of what I was leading up to. I'm sorry, that was kind of a leading question, but that's exactly right. This isn't going to happen overnight. It didn't take, Bitcoin didn't happen overnight. What did it take them 2 years before they actually saw Bitcoin get to 2 cents? The bottom line is this is going to take quite a while. But in the meantime, in that quite a while, there's going to be some significant savings, financial opportunities for people, all of the above. So that's the beauty of what we're doing. So it may not be mainstream yet, but if you listen to the mainstream, everything that they're talking about out there, we're answering. And that's the beautiful part. That's what Jeff was talking about last week on your call. He was making mention of things that's precisely what Nexus University is there to help solve, those issues, those problems. Getting the utility out there, letting people know what this product is, where to go and use it and spend it. Get the merchants excited about being on board. I mean, they're not going to accept anything that they don't know anything about. So yeah, this is great stuff, all of it.
And it's seamless. It's not a hard thing to change. I mean, it's not a hard changing of this behavior. It's actually easier.
It's change. That's the hard part. Oh, it is change. But it's change of mindset, change of the thought process. And once you start seeing the savings in making those changes, holy mackerel. Yeah, this is good stuff.
All righty.
There goes my comment.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, I don't see any more comments to be made here. So we'll wrap up the call. Oh, Jeff's getting out of his car.
Oh, and I'd like to thank again, thank you, Joe Mina. Jersey Joe Mina has created a video on how to download the Nexus wallet. Thank you very much, Joe. That's what it takes.
Kudos, Joe. Way to go. All right, guys, thanks for being here. We have a 5 p.m. Call this afternoon, Kelly Ann and Kelly B. Join us then. And until then, have a great afternoon, and we'll see you back then. Thanks for being here, everybody. Love to you all.